You don't need sugar to stay sharp. In fact, the more stable your food, the more stable your focus. Today, I'll show you 3 brain-friendly foods that help with memory, mental clarity, and calm energy, without a single gram of added sugar. And food number 2, it's so simple, yet researchers call it memory insurance. After 60, we all notice small changes. Names take longer, thoughts drift more easily, focus feels fuzzier. But your brain isn't failing, it's just hungry for a different kind of fuel. Let's walk through 3 foods that help nourish your mind, without sugar, stimulants, or supplements. Just real food, real clarity. Number 1, fatty fish. Helen first noticed it when she was reading. Not the kind of tired that puts you to sleep, the kind that makes your brain feel foggy. She'd read a paragraph, then realized she hadn't taken in a word of it. She was eating well, sleeping fine. So why did her mind feel like it was swimming through molasses? At first, she brushed it off as just getting older, but her daughter nudged her to try something small. Add salmon to your dinners, just twice a week. Helen rolled her eyes. Fish didn't seem like a solution, but she gave it a shot. Grilled, simple, nothing fancy. And 2 weeks later, something shifted. She said, "I feel like the lights are staying on longer, like I'm sharper, even when I'm tired." Here's why that happens, and why fatty fish is one of the best brain foods for anyone over 60. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA. DHA is a major building block of your brain. It forms the membranes around neurons and helps cells communicate more effectively. As we age, DHA levels naturally decline. And when that happens, we may experience more brain fog, memory slips, and slower thinking. But when we restore that nutrient through food, we're not just adding fuel, we're upgrading the system that delivers the fuel. Your brain is made of fat, and it runs best on the right kind, not processed oils, not trans fats, but clean, anti-inflammatory, omega-3 rich fats that reduce inflammation, support blood flow, and optimize brain signaling. And the impact is often quiet, but powerful. You may notice less fog after lunch, more clarity during conversations, better recall during puzzles or reading, and even steadier mood throughout the day. So how can you try this? Aim for 2 servings per week of wild-caught salmon, sardines, or mackerel grill, bake, or pan-sear with olive oil and lemon. If you don't enjoy seafood, consider a high-quality fish oil supplement with DHA and EPA, and pair it with leafy greens or berries for extra brain-boosting synergy. This isn't a quick fix, it's a brain nourishment habit, and one of the smartest ones you can build after 60. Because you don't need sugar to sharpen your mind, you just need to feed it what it was made of. 2. Blueberries. Frank never skipped breakfast. He had his routine. Toast, coffee, maybe a granola bar mid-morning if he got hungry. But by 11 a.m., he noticed a strange pattern. His focus faded, his eyes felt tired, his thoughts slowed. He couldn't concentrate on reading. Conversations felt more like effort than flow. At first, he blamed sleep, then aging, then just one of those days. But one afternoon, his granddaughter asked him something that stuck. "Grandpa, why do you always look so sleepy after your snack?" That question made him rethink things. So, the next day he skipped the bar, and instead grabbed a small bowl of fresh blueberries from the fridge. Just a handful, no big deal. But by the end of the week, he felt different. More present, more steady. He could finish his crossword puzzle without zoning out halfway through. What changed? Here's the science behind it. Blueberries are rich in flavonoids, especially anthocyanins, powerful plant compounds that improve blood flow, reduce oxidative stress, and enhance communication between neurons. In one Harvard study, older adults who regularly consumed blueberries had slower rates of cognitive decline, better recall, and stronger attention spans, even into their 70s and 80s. That's why some researchers call them brain berries. Blueberries don't work like caffeine or sugar. They don't spike your system and drop you. Instead, they nourish your neurons slowly, creating stability, not stimulation. That's what makes them so valuable after 60, when your brain needs support, not stress. And unlike processed snacks, blueberries offer natural sweetness without added sugar, while delivering fiber, hydration, and antioxidants all in one. So, how can you try this? Add a handful of blueberries to your breakfast, on oats, eggs, or yogurt. Eat them frozen for a cooling snack mid-morning, or blend them into a sugar-free smoothie with spinach and protein. If fresh berries aren't available, frozen works just as well, and may even retain more nutrients. The point isn't perfection, it's consistency. Because clarity doesn't come from more sugar, it comes from giving your brain the quiet fuel it's been waiting for. 3. Walnuts. Claire loved her morning routine. She'd make her tea, open the window, and sit down with a crossword puzzle. It was quiet, peaceful, a ritual, but recently something felt off. She'd read the clue, stare at it, then move on without trying. Not because she didn't know, but because her brain just wasn't clicking. Not broken, just slower. It wasn't scary, but it was frustrating. She didn't want supplements, didn't want a new routine. So, when she read that walnuts could help with focus, she thought, why not? She started small. A small handful, maybe 7 or 8 walnuts, next to her eggs, or tossed into her yogurt. She didn't expect anything, but by the end of the second week, she noticed something subtle, but real. She wasn't faster, she was clearer. Her thoughts had more traction, like her brain had stopped slipping on ice. Here's what's happening under the surface. Walnuts are one of the only tree nuts that contain plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA, the same brain-building nutrient found in fatty fish. DHA is essential for maintaining the structure of brain cells and supporting communication between neurons. But walnuts don't stop there. They're also rich in polyphenols, antioxidants, and vitamin E, all of which work together to reduce inflammation in the brain, improve blood flow, and protect memory centers like the hippocampus. In short, walnuts don't act like a boost. They're more like a nutritional safety net, catching you before you slip into mental fog. Here's how to try them. Eat 7 to 10 whole walnuts per day. Pair them with breakfast, eggs, oatmeal, or even blueberries, or snack on them mid-afternoon instead of sugary bars or crackers. Your brain doesn't need stimulation, it needs stability. And walnuts provide that in one of the quietest, most powerful ways nature knows. Because the most important parts of the brain don't need to be revved up. They need to feel supported, oxygenated, and gently cared for. And sometimes, a handful of walnuts is the softest yes your brain could ask for. Which one of these have you already tried? Comment mental clarity if you've felt the difference. Or tell us your favorite brain food. Your story could help someone else watching today. Your brain isn't declining, it's adjusting and asking for new support. And when you give it the right food, it thanks you quietly, in focus, memory, and peace of mind. You don't need sugar, you don't need pills, you just need real fuel given consistently. Try just one of these foods for 7 days, then come back and tell us what changed. Your story could guide someone else. Clarity doesn't have to be complicated. In the next video, we'll finally answer fat versus sugar. Which one actually fuels you better after 60? It's not what most doctors were taught. Subscribe now so you don't miss it.